take a look at humanity. We've been around for at least 60,000 years as Homo sapiens. But if we take a look at Earth's history, it's just a tiny part of it. However, look where we have reached in this short time. Sticks to swords and swords to missiles. Walking on our feet and now flying on airplanes. Small villages to mega cities. And interestingly, the pace of this growth is rapidly increasing in an uncontrolled way. While all of this seems miraculously beautiful, we're still struggling with most fundamental questions about our essence. Who are we? What's a human? How do we think? And most importantly, what's the purpose? Why are we here? Like this scene of Lost series that John Locke said,
"Do you really think all this is an accident? That we, a group of strangers, survived? Many of us with just superficial injuries? You think we crashed on this place by coincidence? Especially this place? We were brought here for a purpose, for a reason, all of us. Each one of us was brought here for a reason. Brought here."
Locke repeatedly pointed out we are on this island, which I take it as life, for a reason. But what's that reason? What's that purpose? Maybe it's been handed to us to decide where exactly we should be heading. Well, we may be able to decide where to roam, but still, we don't know why. And I guess this question will always remain unanswered. But anyway, we still crave for an answer. We humans are curious, aren't we? Following religious narrative, you'll be convinced that you've been brought here to be tested and be picked to whether join good people in heaven or bad ones in hell. On the other side, by flicking through science, you'll realize obviously science is not a field of knowledge to delve into such questions. However, it's worth noting that so far, the most reliable source of knowledge is science. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been where we are, and I wouldn't have been able to post this here. Anyway, back to our topic and question. Some people say to live a happy life, you'd better know less. But this self-inquiry is inevitable. So it would be useful to dedicate some time to think. Well, these questions are not gonna lead you to commit suicide, are they? My personal experience. Life is full of questions, and no definite answer has ever been given to anything. Regarding this question, it only helps you understand yourself better, and with sufficient amount of self-inspection, you start asking the right questions, and it will lead you where you're supposed to tread on, or where you're supposed to go, like this scene in Lost.
So not to be too difficult, but we've been coming here for 2 days just staring at this thing. Not really sure what we're supposed to be doing.
Ludovico Buonarroti, Michelangelo's father. He was a wealthy man, had no understanding of the divinity in his son, so he beat him. No child of his was going to use his hands for a living, so Michelangelo learned not to use his hands. Years later, a visiting prince came into Michelangelo's studio and found the master staring at a single 18-foot block of marble. Then he knew the rumors were true that Michelangelo had come in every day for the past 4 months, stared at the marble, then gone home for his supper. So the prince asked the obvious, "What are you doing?" And Michelangelo turned around and looked at him and whispered, "Sto lavorando. I'm working." Three years later, that block of marble was the statue of David.
We're not gonna stare at this thing for 4 months, are we? How are we gonna open it?
Well, that's what we have to figure out. That's why we're sitting here.